Let's get this spring fairy finished, shall we? Welcome back, it's Lucy from Nanny Buttons Crafts, and today we're going to be making her wings and hopefully her hair too. So when I left you last time, I just started putting on these and I just showed you how I did that. And now I've added quite a few more. I've left this bit clear here because her wings and her hair are going to be on that, so I'm not even sure how much of this we're going to see. Just something for you to be aware of, but I'm really happy with her so far. I think she looks really good. So when I've made wings in the past, I've just made them really stiff to try and help them hold up. But I think we're going to have a go with some wire today. This is just a pipe cleaner. I'm slightly worried that we're going to see this, so hopefully we won't, but let's have a go. So I want to make small wings. You could of course make big wings. Excuse me, I'm going to make them all in carded Cordell, and this is chalk. This is the whitest I found from World of War. This is Coral. You can see that colour. Hopefully you can see that it is quite a bit whiter. So we're going to make small wings. Because this comes in a roll, we're just going to pull off. Let's try this chunk here. So let's have a look, see what this is roughly. So it's just a bit longer than a pipe cleaner, but this might be too much. I'm going to fold it over. I'm kind of picturing like a bow like that, and I have seen people literally just you know, tie it. That's your wing. Maybe a bit of faffing, but that's your wing, which you could do. Let's see how this looks if we fold it over together. Does it look like we're going to see it through? Possibly. Let's fold it over. I'm thinking that, but I'm thinking these will go in much tighter. So this might actually be too much wool. We shall see. Is this the best way to add this? I'm not sure. I just don't know if it's going to be strong enough to hold it. And maybe it will be because it's going to be small. Let's try it without the wire. Yeah, let's try without the wire. Okay, so we're going to fold it over to roughly the size I think I want. So this is fitting on my mat pretty well. I'm going to use my tool, which has 4 needles in this one at the moment. So if you've got one of these, great. Otherwise it's going to be really hard for you. Just start bashing. You could use 2 needles in your hand. Just start bashing to get this down. I can see a bit of something in there. Let's get that out. Pull that one out. There we go. Just push you up a bit. Just going. We will shape this better slightly. Keep moving it off the mat, otherwise it will get quite stuck into the mat. And you can always add more if you need to. You probably won't, you shouldn't see the ads. So just mainly concentrating in the middle, not too much on the edges, because I'm going to bring this in quite a bit. I can turn it over. It's really sunny today and springy. Let's get that out too. Even though it's cold, it's so cold. What have I got on my nail? I had a really successful busy morning this morning, so that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to take this in. It's still quite a bit bigger than I would like it to be, but that's okay. So I'm going to pop my finger protectors on, and we're just going to start. I'm going to scrunch it up slightly. You're roughly looking for the middle, and just start pushing down there like that to bring it together. I'm going to come, just move this one out of the way, and we're going to start coming up here and just pushing in. This is just 1 needle, we don't need that bit. And this really will push it down. I like to push down with this finger when I'm doing this one, because it makes it feel like I know where the needle's going. but also because I think like you can do quite a lot with your hands as well. The pressure from your hands will help because we're just compacting this down. So I feel like that's helpful. Remembering to move it every so often. Keep going. That's it. This is looking very much like a bow, isn't it? Let's go back to our big needle. Get this down. Kind of are looking for symmetry. Now you could use a ruler. I probably need to get myself a ruler so that I can start thinking a bit more. Perhaps it would give a bit more of a professional result, but we'll see. So again, this is not going to be a quick result. We'll turn it around and do the exact same on this side. So going in the middle, except we've got a bit of a guide now. Now before I go too mad on this, I want to try and get this end in a bit. I want this to be a bit smaller. So I'm going to work on this end and come in quite a bit. And you can see, hopefully you can see how this is moving, how it's compacting down a bit. And I've made some wings that have been really, really stiff. It's part of how you get them to stay up. Now, if you think of a butterfly, we should probably come in a bit. So we will think about that. I'm just going down here because it's a bit clumpy. The hardest part about this is going to be getting them symmetrical, or as close to as. They don't have to be perfect. Just pushing it down like that. Let's have a think about, let's go roughly in half because that's the easiest. So I reckon about there is half, but you could go up slightly more if you wanted. Just putting quite a lot of focus in this area here. Coming up, and then we can start round in the corners a bit by just constantly moving like this, round in that corner a bit, coming down. And I'm going to go a bit of an angle there. Let's go around and do this side. Same again, going roughly for the middle. There we go. This side doesn't feel as thick as the other side. That will happen sometimes. And I suppose you could do your wings separate so that I think I've done separate wings before, so that it's easier to make sure they're both similar. Let's go around a bit here, pulling it off the mat. And we're going to be checking by folding them over like this. That's going to be the easiest way for us to check this, I think. Just pushing down a bit to encourage it to do what I want it to do. down. That nearly went through, then it felt like it did. Your fairy wings could be any colour you want. And they could be twice this size if you wanted them to be. Of course they could. And absolutely don't mind if you're making this and you want to do a carbon copy of mine. Absolutely no problem with that at all. Whatever helps you to have a go, try something, because they'll never look identical anyway. It would be impossible to. I don't think I could recreate this exactly the same. It would end up looking slightly different. Right, just using your eyes to see how it's looking. If you start to lose definition, like in the middle, just go back in again. Looking to put that back. I mean, this needs to be, actually it's going to stay not that stiff, but I'm in my head I'm thinking I'd like it to be a lot stiffer, which means it's going to take a lot longer. So I could do that off camera and come back, I suppose. Let's do a little bit more. And I'm just use our tool to help. So we are aiming for the same sort of thickness. I was thinking of putting lots of detail on the wings, but now I'm not so sure actually. So I wonder if they'd just be quite nice plain, because she's got all the detail on her dress. Because we could just run something around the outside. Or we could put little tiny spots on. We could run the pattern that she's got on her dress over them if we wanted to. That might look quite nice. This tool was such a game changer for me. I am constantly learning new things. And I know if you want this really thin, I've seen people use hair straighteners, which I don't know how you do that without burning it. I've no idea. But yeah, I've seen people use hair straighteners to get things thin, which is probably saves a lot of time. Not sure. I don't have any hair straighteners because my hair is incredibly straight. I had my massive Wordable order come today. I'm so excited. Have filmed it. We'll get that up soon. I think there was like 15, there should have been 15 bags, but they put all my Cool War into one, because I think I ordered 4 bags, so they just put it into one big bag. That's wonderful, I'm absolutely fine with that. But the colours are just so lovely. So the more you play with this, you're really going to, you know, give your fairy much more definition in. We are getting there, aren't we? It feels like I can see this. I mean, if you get fed up, stop. This is not far. You could, you know, you can make this work, or you could spend loads of time really putting a lot of effort into this. You could spend hours on the wings, I suppose, if you wanted to. I'm making this side much smaller, aren't I? And it feels really loose here. It wants to go in loads. I think I've definitely got more wool here, so I could add some more. I can't really take it away now. If you use too much, I can't really take this away. I can bash it more to try and get it down, but I can't take the wool off, so it would be incredibly difficult to do that. And I can add more to here if I want to. We may do. Let's just get some of these corners down a bit. I think next week we're going to go back to some like Easter eggs, decorate some Easter eggs, maybe even some cookie cutters, just confidence builders. Sometimes I tried to make a duck yesterday afternoon. I just find it really hard. Just like a yellow rubber duck, the sort you'd put in a bath, like a baby bath, and it just didn't work out. Yeah, I can make these quite large creations, which are reasonably good. Yeah, a simple duck just vexed me somehow. I think it just wasn't the right time. I wasn't quite in the mood. Okay, so we need to work on this side down here. I hope that you're just seeing like how flexible this wool can be, how you can manipulate it quite a bit. I think that's amazing. I sort of wonder like what can you not make with it, because I wanted to make a doll out of normal felt, cut in, sew in, glue in, I don't know, my brain would struggle with that. Whereas I can see that this wool can be moulded into multiple shapes. And the more practice you get, the better you get at it, hopefully. Go in. Okay, we're not there yet, but we're going to have a little look. I think we just need to shape it more. And then I think we'll probably, let's go from this corner here. So in it, you can get this quite stiff. There is a point where it gets so stiff that you kind of like, you've run out, that's it. If it's something's too big, there is a point where you can go, right, it's so stiff now, I can't move it. We're not there yet. And that can be quite frustrating if that happens. I still want more definition, I'm thinking. It's just looking a little bit. Come in a bit more here. Let's get this smaller, I think. So much less wool on this side. I could add more. I might have to. Let's see what we can do. We're not beaten yet. And a good way to have a look is to fold it over so I can see that this side is way smaller. So I could just, I hope you can see this, possibly not. I could just hold it down and try and get it a bit more even. We are adding hair, and if the wings become really difficult, you could not add wings, or you could you know, just make the wings as simple as you possibly can. So when I'm doing this, I have to be really careful I don't end up poking the needle through this side, otherwise they'll start joining together. So going round, and I think the main problem is I've got more wool on the bottom piece than the top piece. I don't know if I want to go through the whole piece of adding more to this, because that'll be quite a lot of work. And using that as a bit of a template. Picked up a bit of colour there from somewhere. Okay, let's open it up and have a look. Still looks really big on this side. I think it's just because it's so chunky. So I'm gonna angle this slightly. I'm gonna get rid of these big chunks here. Push them in, and you can squeeze as well to help. Okay. How are we feeling about this? Is it going to bother me? This is so much thicker. Sometimes when I use the one needle, I feel like I've got a lot more control with, you could do the whole thing with one needle, it just takes so much longer. So that's the other side. This side. Could go in a bit more. Do we want to add some detail to it? I told you I don't always have a big plan. Okay. So which side? It wants to go that way, doesn't it? Can you see? Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, we could go in. Okay, let's give it some more shape. Stop there if you feel you need to. I just feel like, oh, I can do a bit better, so let's try and do that. If you get really stuck, have a look at butterfly wings for inspiration, because I always picture fairies would have wings like butterflies. In a little bit more. Okay, let's try again. Just got a bit more of a shape there going up. Should probably, I didn't check that really, shouldn't I? I want to put the same on this side, or do I want to come back? Let's have a little look. It's quite different. Let's try and make it the same. Interesting shape. I'm not sure how I did that. Probably just working too much on one side. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm just gonna I think I'm reasonably happy with that. I don't think I'm going to add any detail. She says, and then instantly changes her mind. Let's get the hair out and have a look at that. So for the hair, I'm going to use this pink merino candy floss. I was thinking of adding some blue and pink hair, but let's just get some pink. So because this one comes on a roll, that's kind of getting us a bit started with the hair. So how long do we want our hair to? Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Oh, I love it already. I don't think, let's put the wings behind. Yeah, I don't think we want to go too much lower than the wings. Now, your hair could be very, very loose and flowing, or your hair could be quite styled and, you know, you could felt it in a bit. I'm going to pull it here. Now, if you cut this, you end up with a cutted line, which I don't really like. I do want to keep it together. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it apart. I might. No, I can. There we go. Little bits. Not the easiest thing to do. Smaller bits. Because I have cut some hair before and it just looks so like rigidly cut, like she'd just been had a haircut. Just not really what we wanted. Bit of strength. I've got weakness in my hands. They're not very strong, so this might be easier for you. I'm just pulling that apart a bit more. Okay, right. Let's have a look. Take these bits out. Feels like we've got a lot more on this side than that side. Let me just have a look. Yeah, it does feel very uneven. I think it will be okay. Pull that off a bit. Pull some of this out. Okay, all I'm going to do is just really carefully and gently a couple of little spots. Nothing too much. Just so it's got a little tiny bit of sticking together. Now, if you're unsure about attaching her hair, you could put some sort of a hat on. I tend to think if it was human hair, there would be a parting at least at the front. So that's how I go about hair. So finger guards on, and then take your needle and just start poking it in. We're doing a bit of a side parting. Okay, go back. Push it down. Turn around. You're going to see her wings. She's going to have wings on the back, which we'll attach in a minute. So technically you won't really see this. The hair isn't coming forward. If we want to have the hair coming forward, we could, I'll just quickly show you, we could add some up here to cover this if we really wanted to, but because of her wings, we're not going to see it. Now, to make sure that this is really in, I am going to touch from here as well a bit. just pushing that down, fold it back over, just pushing it down a bit. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But if you find a way you prefer to touch the hair, go for it. This is something to be aware of. Of course, you could pull this off. A child could just pull it and pull this bit off, whereas you couldn't pull this off so easily. You'd have to put quite a bit of effort into pulling this bit off, but a child could pull the hair off. And these aren't really toys for children, especially if you're using white. If you get anything on that, it's going to mark, and you know you're going to have to recover it with some white. I don't know how you'd clean it, so just bear that in mind. These aren't to be sold for toys. I mean, you could snap a bit of a needle and it could get stuck in. There could be like some fawny bits in there from the sheep. It's just not, they're just not toys. You have to bear that in mind. Okay. So at this point, sometimes I feel the need to pop a bit in and like create a bit of a loop, or various things I've done before with it, but I'm gonna just leave her today. I'm just gonna try and pull this off a bit because I feel like this bit's too long. But let's get her wings on. So we definitely don't want to put any detail on these wings, do we? Because this is the last chance. Let's have a look at her. Yeah, I'm leaning towards putting some detail on the wings. Spots, lines, stripes. I'm going to put some detail on the wings. Sorry, can't help myself. I'm going to bring in another colour. I'm going to bring in lavender. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to bring in some lavender. I think that's going to look really nice. Sorry about that. Let's just do it. If you're waiting patiently to attach the wings, I really apologise. Pretty much the same way we attach the hair. I'm just going to go in with it. There probably is better ways of doing it. But so all I'm going to do is just pop some stripes on, I think. Yeah, let's just try that. What am I going to do? So pushing this through, it is gonna, in a minute you'll see, it will come through. You can try and do it really, really gently. It's almost certainly going to come through. So with that in mind, we'll probably do the other side as well. I'm using quite thin bits. I'm going to try and make them relatively symmetrical. We're not going for perfection here. Let's have a look. So yeah, you can start to see this coming through here. It's fine. Do it on both sides. I mean, if you're, depending where you're displaying your 1, 2, you may see both sides. Yeah, it's going to be fine. This is a lovely colour. Okay, and then we're going to get some, I've also got the candy floss in a Cordell, so that is the same colour. Does look the same, doesn't it? Just this is a lot easier to work with, but obviously that wouldn't necessarily make the best hair, would it? So let's sorry, I'm treating my, I don't know if you could see that then, my fairy was getting a bit brutally attacked. I've been working on a witch and she is just in a box, and I'm not being gentle enough around her. I need to put her somewhere safe. So putting some pink down here. I don't want to felt this in hard. You could do, but I kind of want it to look a bit like fluffy. I don't think the pink's going to matter that her hair's pink. Do we need to do blue as well? No, I don't think we do. It's a bit more. It's a bit much. I don't think my pink's bright enough there, is it? Let's just get a bit more pink. So don't do this step if you don't want to, or add spots or whatever you want. It's your fairy. Don't put the colour on the back if you don't want. This is the bit where you have your creativity. Maybe her wings are already purple or they're pink, or maybe you want rainbow colours. It is easier actually to add in one piece, isn't it? But you can definitely see the purple coming through here. So that is just something to be aware of. Could you attach it without it coming through? Maybe. You'd have to take very, very small bits, and I wouldn't really like your chances of success. Okay, this last bit. Then we will attach the wings. I'm really sorry. But needle felting is not a quick craft. And I think when people, even when they get cookie cutters and they start with cookie cutters, it takes a long time. That's the only downer that can be a bit off-putting. And if you have a go at needle felting, you see someone's project, you have a different respect for how long it took, and the skill that went into it, and the patience and everything. Okay, yep, I'm happy with that. Let's try it. Oh, you're not going to see much of it, are you, after all that? No, I want to put some more on. I want to put a spot on the wing, just down here in the corner. Just like that, I think. So I've just curled it up. You can see this. I'm just going round. And then we'll do the same on this side. Actually, when I push that down, it looks quite different, doesn't it? Do we need to push it down more? Not sure. Let's felt it in a bit more. A little bit of pink in this corner too. I think if I do a long project like this again, I will probably crop it and make it much shorter for you, or smaller parts or something. But I know I followed a few tutorials before, and I've constantly pausing, where I try and catch up because they're quicker than me. I've quite liked having the whole process filmed. Okay, right, are we more happier with that now? Yes, definitely. Yep, definitely. So go in here, and it's going to be a bit brutal. I'm going to start just brushing in to attach. We can put some hair over it if you aren't happy, you don't want to see it. It's not going to be hard to pop a bit of hair on the back if you want to. You know, if you don't want to see it, but I'm going to keep her hair forward. Now you have to kind of be sure that you are attaching to something, that you are feeling it go right the way through. Otherwise it's going to come off really easy. If you can see under here, I hope you can see that, you can just see where it's starting to attach here. And you have to be a little bit careful that you don't alter the shape of your fairy too much by going in. So you can stop and turn around and have a look. Yeah, I can't see that having any effect at all on the fairy shape. And just nice and slow. You can fold this back. You see this okay? And go in here a little bit if you want to. I can actually see bits of the fibre staying in. Yeah, I can see them. Just do a little bit more. Okay. Let's bring it around. What's happened to her head? Her head has gone a bit wonky. Straightening her head up. I'm just gonna reinforce this a bit. I'm just gonna very, very gently come down here, really gently. You're not seeing the needle marks on this. Just giving it a bit of shape. Carefully smooth it out. Over here a bit. It helps with her head shape too. Down. Coming round. I'm still not happy with that. Hold on, I'm going to grab some scissors. Apologies, I thought I had everything organised. We're just going to very gently try and trim it slightly without it looking too trimmed, and it does look trimmed. Oh, hold on. Come back in. Tiny little bits. Better. Just tiny bits. All a bit different. There we go. I'm really happy with her. I think she's really lovely. Hope you like her too. And each one we make, we learn something new. Yeah, I'm really pleased with her. I hope you have a go and make one. And thank you so much for watching if you stayed with me. Take care. Bye.